Hey everyone, this is Alex with Innovation in Tech Today here at SANS at CES 2018, and I'm here today with the CEO of Indiegogo, David Mandelbrot. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing great, Alex.
Obviously we're here. We have the Indiegogo booth behind us, and so how does Indiegogo fit into the CES landscape here?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we're here in the middle of Eureka Park, which is where the early stage startup companies are. And so these, you won't find your Samsungs or your Googles here. These are companies that are, very early stage that are just getting their products off the ground. Indiegogo's been a key player here in Eureka Park for years now, and really a key partner to these early stage startups, helping them raise money very early in the life cycle of those in their companies, and ultimately take their great ideas from concept to market.
And do you know how many products here have gone through Indiegogo?
I don't know exactly, only because it's impossible for us to keep count, but it is literally in the hundreds. There are hundreds of products here that actually originally raised funding on Indiegogo and now have products that they're manufacturing and shipping to people all over the world.
And how long has Indiegogo been a part of CES? How long have you been attending?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure exactly. We've been attending at least 5 years. Indiegogo's about 10 years old, and we've been here at least 5 of those years, something in that ballpark.
And so as you've been wandering at CES, is there maybe a product that's gone through Indiegogo that's sort of like that you found most interesting, sort of like an Indiegogo product that you've been like, wow, that's pretty cool?
Both products that have gone through Indiegogo and products that are about to come on Indiegogo, absolutely. So you name it. There's this company named Travis makes a translator that allows you to say what you want to say, and then it actually will say that sentence in whatever language you want it to say, or vice versa for people that want to speak English. That's an interesting project. There's a company, we've had more and more, it's sort of a big story at the show. There's more and more companies from China that are developing products for the US market. There's a company called XGIMI, it's XGIMI. They make a monitor, a projection monitor that, where we're used to needing the projector to be really far from the wall. They make a projection monitor that stands right next to the wall, only 4 inches from the wall, and projects straight up and still is able to give you a nice rectangular HD image. And there's just, like I said, there's hundreds of products here that Indiegogo is able to help get to market that it's always thrilling to see.
Wow. And so, kind of like Eureka Park, yeah, it's all about startups, entrepreneurship, kind of like this celebration of entrepreneurs. And so how do you think crowdfunding and Indiegogo specifically has kind of changed how people view entrepreneurship and investing and all those things?
Yeah, it's a really good question. What Indiegogo has really done is it's lowered the barrier for entrepreneurs. The big challenge that entrepreneurs had is that they had to invest all of this money and all of this effort in their products before they knew that there would ultimately be customers for their products. What Indiegogo does is it allows the entrepreneur to share their idea early, validate that there's a market for their product, and once they do that, it's much easier for the entrepreneur to get investors, to be able to do manufacturing, get distribution partnerships, get retailers interested in their product. And so what Indiegogo has really done is lowered the barriers for entrepreneurs and allowed more and more of those entrepreneurs to thrive.
And where do you see the future of crowdfunding in Indiegogo? Let's say 5-10 years from now. How are you developing? Do you have new projects? How are you preparing for the future?
Yeah, there's two key things that are part of the future for Indiegogo. One is what we refer to as equity crowdfunding. So it used to be that people that were funding projects could just get a perk or the product in exchange for their backing that project. Now, backers of projects can actually get equity in companies, meaning they can actually get an ownership stake in those companies at a really early stage, which is a form of investing that up until a little bit over a year ago was not available to the general public, only available to wealthy investors. So one key thing is getting backers that actually invest in these companies. And then the second key thing that we're seeing is enterprises, large companies like Honeywell and Bose and Whirlpool and General Electric. that are using platforms like Indiegogo to foster innovation inside their companies and connect directly with their audiences.
And so, final question. If you had a piece of advice that you could give to, let's say there's someone out there who's looking to put their product on Indiegogo, what advice would you give to them?
That's a great question. First of all, to be courageous and go and do it. It does take a lot of courage to go and launch a product. But what we've seen with the most successful entrepreneurs is what they do is they start to build, they do what they can to build as much momentum for their project early. So rather than just putting it on Indiegogo and hoping that people become aware of it and fund that project, what they can do is start telling their family and friends about it, get them excited about it, encourage them to get their family and friends excited about it. Nowadays, through social media, we have the ability to actually gather a group of people around a cause or a project very quickly. They should build momentum early. Use Indiegogo to really build on that momentum and get all the way across the goal line.
Hey, David, thank you so much for talking to me today.
My pleasure, Alex. Thank you.
This has been Alex with Innovation in Tech Today. Come check out Indiegogo in Eureka Park and all these other great startups, and stay tuned for more CES 2018 coverage.